All right, guys, time to dust off this SCX-6 build. It's been sitting off the shelf for a minute. We took it out for a quick bench run, and it was pretty cool. And now I know how it kind of speed and how it might bounce around once we do the swing set suspension. Today we're going to tackle the Prerunner back half. I hope you enjoy it. All right, so we've got an update from last Weld Wednesday. And so we got our cage back. I'll show you that in a second. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start building the back half of the SCX-6 Prerunner that we're giving, that you guys paid for, that we're giving to Operation 11 Charlie. So the idea, real quick recap on it, what we're doing is we're doing a Prerunner back half, and then we are going to be doing a swing set front suspension on the Prerunner. So it's gonna be pretty Baja-ish. Should be a pretty cool truck. We're gonna try this out. So first things first, we're gonna make the back kind of like cage where the tire is gonna go. I'm gonna make it only for one spare tire because this stuff is pretty heavy and the truck's already pretty heavy, so I don't wanna make it, you know, extra wide and bulky. Ooh, look at that. We got it back from powder coat. I already have some pictures of what it looked like on the truck that I'm putting on. It's pretty sick, so I'm really excited about that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to build the part of this backside, and then it's gonna be a little different because the suspension's a little different. I wanna keep the same geometry on the rear, and I want it just to look like a Prerunner on the back half. The suspension, the shocks are so big that I think to get shocks that were long enough that had the right spring rate would be really tough. So basically on Prerunners, what you want to do is you want to have a lot of weight on the back half, like behind the axle, so the front end sticks up. So the front end, instead of being like this, the front end wants to weigh down like this, so when it's bouncing over, the front end's just kind of dancing, getting all shreddy with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut up some of this massive 3/16, oh no, this is 5/16. It's big. It's a 1/4 inch maybe, I don't know. Big stuff for the back half. And then we are gonna start putting it all together, and hopefully we have somewhat of a back tire cage by the time we're done. Okay, so now I have this back part tacked together. So essentially, the way it's gonna go, let's see if I can get a better angle. Let's switch hands. Essentially, the way it's gonna go is it's gonna go off the back here, and it's just the right size for a tire. It's a little wider, but I want to strap it down. I think it'll look cool. A little wider than that. It's gonna go at an angle, and so we gotta find the bar that kind of goes like this, and then we're gonna find the bar that goes like this and connects it together. And then that's gonna be the beginning of our back half. And then I'm gonna build basically a hoop that comes over, and then actual hoop that connects into the body, because we wanna use the stock body mounts and all that kind of stuff. So it should be pretty rad. Stay tuned. All right, so now that this back part, or this is kind of like the riser, the part that connects to, let's see how hot this is. It's pretty warm still. So I put these Scale Metal Supplies tabs on there, and these tabs are ginormous. Those are the SCX-6 tabs from Scale Metal Supplies. Let's set this around. So Weld Wednesday is sponsored by ScaleMetalSupplies.com. Go check them out, get all your tabs. Get the SCX-6 tab set and go to town, get some work done. So this is going to go something like that. Yep, I like it. So I got to tack that in underneath, and I'll probably just MIG that, and we'll start attaching things. All right, so there it is. That's the beginning of the Prerunner back half. So I welded in these plates here to bolt on things. I don't know what I'm gonna bolt on yet. I'm gonna put a fuel cell in here, and obviously the tire right here, so it'll bump up against the fuel cell and it'll wedge in real nice. And then I'm gonna triangulate from here to there, which should look pretty good. And then this crossbar, so the cage comes to about here, and that's where the cab is. So this crossbar is gonna be triangulated down from the hoop that I'm gonna make for the cage. And then we'll see what kind of other pretty stuff. I'm not sure. I'm kind of thinking I'm torn because the cage is all one piece. Because it's one piece, I kind of don't want to, like, it's supposed to open from down here and the whole thing clamshells over. I kind of don't know if that's where we're gonna go with this, only because I feel it's kind of one of those form and function things. Like, I might make it where it all bolts together, or I might make it where it like bolts to the frame here, that's the back half, and then the cab captures into the back half, and you have to take the cab off with a couple bolts. This isn't gonna rotate anymore unless I take off this back bumper with the shackles, which I'd kind of like to leave. So I'm kind of like torn on what I want to do here, but I think this is a good start. I'll bring a tire from the house and stuff it in there so you can see kind of like what it'll look like. And then once all this is kind of all triangulated here, it'll really start to take form. And then I can start working on the idea I have for cutting apart the front suspension. So I was saying it's kind of tough because once I started looking at the actual joint here and what it's going to take to cut that and to keep like everything captured here for a swing set, it got a little, the thing is that, you know, 10 scale, those parts it's not that they're easy to come by, but you can get different cars or different things that can work. This scale really isn't, and so it's, you know, if you mess up, it's kind of expensive. So I'm trying to figure out a way to do it right the first time. And the other thing is, you know, I'm gonna have to like basically just get rid of everything in the front, which is okay. But when I was looking at the geometry of what we got going on from the other build to this one, I thought that the kit for the 10 scale is going to answer a lot of questions for me, and it turns out it didn't. Just because this is it's all balanced differently. Like, this would be ideal if this is turned around, but I can't really do that. And it's going to be nice on high gear, I guess maybe on 4S, I don't know, we'll see. But I want to get as much weight as I can back here, so that way the front end picks up and it's just kind of dancing around. I'm gonna really have to soften the front end springs. It'd be nice if I can get them a little longer, but I think we're gonna have to stick with that, and it might just be oversprung. But that might be okay, because that might make it look cool kind of going through the dunes. The tires they're coming out with are pretty cool. I kind of wish they were a little less aggressive. They're coming out with some really aggressive tires for these. But I think these will be okay. I think these will fit the look. And now I'm starting to think about like the new Toyota body that they came out with. I still really like the square body they have, but they're just so expensive. And I think that these will look much cooler, or if I keep it kind of more of that Toyota-esque Prerunner look. But it's coming. This is kind of a cool start, and like I said, it'll come out here to the hoop, all that kind of stuff. Stay tuned, guys. Should be a fun ride.